See the years and you will always be profitable. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start by covering how to completely steer around trading's psychological pressures, and believe me, knowing this alone is about to put you many miles ahead of other traders in an instant, because by adopting this stance as a trader, you will never have to worry about short-term ups and downs ever again. From there, we're going to walk through a genuine sample size of 50 real-life trades taken so that I can show you edge playing out and delivering profits in real time via one of the strategies that you're about to learn later on in the program, the price reversion strategy. So let's start with probabilistic thinking in the long term. So to begin with point one, what do I mean by probabilistic thinking? Okay, well, what this means is, in its simplest form, when you've seen that a strategy works on paper via the cold hard numbers and you understand that it provides edge, you no longer need to worry about the short term, about each individual trade. Why? Because you know that as probabilities play out over the long term, as long as you're trading well, executing well, managing risk, not skipping trades and so on, you will come out ahead of the market. How? It's a mathematical fact based on, again, probabilities. Now, when it comes to seeing the years, so to speak, again, if you get caught up in what happens day to day or week to week, or sometimes even month to month, the psychological pressure of the ups and the downs that are completely normal, mind, are going to cause havoc for you, much like we discussed in the previous module. If you allow yourself to wear that uniform of failure and you act on that work pay mindset, paying attention to every single trade, your emotions are going to be all over the place as you're up 1 minute, massively up the next, back down the next, and vice versa. Because remember, we're going to have both winning trades and losing trades, and both winning runs and losing runs across the weeks, the months, and the years. Only one thing is for certain. If we trade with edge long term, so 1 quarter, 6 months, a year, longer than that, we're always going to come out ahead of the markets. And as the title of this video suggests, if you look at the years rather than anything less, I guarantee you, you will always be profitable. So next, let's talk about seeing edge in its physical form. Okay, so in this next section, you're going to actually watch me as I deconstruct a 50 trade sequence produced by, again, the price reversion strategy just a short while ago. And you'll be able to actually physically watch as edge plays out for us in real time. It astonishes me how few traders take the time to truly study their data sets as we're about to here. And after this, you'll have a full understanding of why it's so important to trade well across the long term, along with the rewards that are waiting for you when you do so. Let's get into it. Next, I want to walk you through a real life example, and this will show you exactly why 5, 10, 15 trades, it just isn't enough. I'm going to show you the most recent 50 trades provided by my DAX strategy this year. Real trades taken, a real life, accurate sample size of genuine trades. So let's get into it. So let's get this loaded up. And the first thing that I'm going to say is I haven't cherry picked a sample size here. I've literally just taken the most recent 50 trades from the record. So this is a genuine list of trades taken. It's a genuine sample size. As the strategy is mechanical, all of these trades are the exact trades that you would have taken if you had the strategy rules and you followed them. And just very quickly, before we do get into it, I've blurred out the exact entry prices and the entry times, just so that no one can remap the trades and potentially uncover the edge. So that is why they are blurred out. So let's get into it. Right, so let's get the sheet loaded up and let's get a calculator as well so we can keep track of the results. Okay, here we are. So let's say you're a brand new trader, you've just learned the DAX strategy and you join me in trading it on this run of 50 trades. Now, you most likely won't be taking the 50 trade test. You probably won't even know about the 50 trade test. Most new traders will come into a new strategy. They'll expect to make money straight away and lots of it. They'll expect to be up pretty much every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. All the usual false expectations and no real clue of what's actually required. That being consistency, discipline, and again, allowing edge to play out, allowing probabilities to play out, and so on and so forth. But again, let's take this run of trades and just run through them one by one. So let's say you begin trading this strategy on the 3rd of June this year. Well, you start with quite a good day. You come in and you have a 1R loss and a 7.3R win, leaving you 6.3R on the session. A great start. Next session that you trade, you're up 1.7R. Brilliant. And the next few trades, -2, +2, and then you start a bit of a tricky run. So you have 2 losing days, so -4R. You have a few days with no setup, and then you come back in on the 20th of June and you're down another 2R. So by this point, you've been trading for around 2 weeks and you're just 2R up. So you're profitable, but not much. So let's carry on. You come in on the 21st, 5.1R win. Great. Next day, a down day, -2. Back in on the 25th, you make 1.8. Now, by this stage, you're at 6.9R up. Not bad. You've almost traded the edge for a month. You're profitable. It's clearly working. You're making money. You're pretty happy. Now, as we can see, looking back on this trade record, we had a down period coming up next, 4 losing days in a run as of the 26th. So 26 -2R, 27 -2R, 28 -2R, 1st of July -2R. Now by this stage, you've traded the edge for a month. You're kind of beginning to edge on an accurate sample size, and yet you're down on your account by -1.1R. So you might be thinking, you know, I've traded the edge for 4 weeks. Why have I not doubled my account yet? Why am I not a millionaire yet? I thought this edge was profitable. You know, I've had some wins, some losses, but my account's down after 4 weeks. And it's at this stage you might be emailing me saying, Will, look, I've traded your DAX strategy for 4 weeks. I'm down very slightly on my account. What's going on? Does this strategy work? Are you a real trader? Are you a scammer? On and on and on. All these kind of thoughts would probably be going through your head. And again, this comes back to inexperience. You know, I mean, professional traders aren't thinking day to day, week to week. They're thinking month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year, very long term. And they understand that there's going to be losing runs. There's going to be losing weeks, losing months, so on and so forth. It's just part of the game. But again, let's press on and let's carry on trading the sample size. So 3rd of July, you come in, 1.1R win, not too bad. Next day, 4th of July, -2R. And by this stage, you're -2.1R. You're into your second month. You're probably still worrying. 8th of July comes around, fairly big winning day, 4.9R. And then again, the next 2 days, this is taken straight back away from you on the 9th and the 10th. You're back down 4R. And by this stage, you're -1.2R and you've taken quite a few trades. Let's see how many trades you've actually taken by this point. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, 34. So you've been trading for about 5 weeks. You've taken roughly 34 trades. You've lost money. You're -1.2R. Now, you're pretty much break even, so it's far from anything to worry about. You know, you're not down 50%. You haven't, you know, emptied a quarter of your account, half your account, but you haven't made money yet. So again, as a new trader, you're probably going to be thinking, God, I've put in all this effort. I've made no money. Does this strategy really work? Well, when it comes to my strategies, obviously I share quite a lot of trade data so that you can actually see physically, yes, it does, black and white, clear as day, indisputable. But again, if you are physically trading this live, the data doesn't matter. Actual results matter. And you may even quit at this stage. You might say, no, it doesn't work. I've traded it for 4 or 5 weeks. I'm break even pretty much. I need a strategy that's going to help me double my account once a month. I need that holy grail. And then onwards you go, chasing what doesn't exist, and you wonder why you can't make money. Whereas, let's take a look at what happens if you stand strong. So you come in on the 11th of July, 5.4R win. The next day, 3.4R win. The next day, 1.1R win. You have a down day, minus 1R. And then again, back in on the 17th of July, 1R win. 18th of July, 5.7R win. And by this stage, with just another, 1.5, 2 weeks, you're straight back up, 14.4R profit, which is just fantastic. 1% risk per trade, you've grown your account by 14.4%. 2% risk per trade, you've grown your account by 28.8%. That's huge, especially for 5-6 weeks of work. But again, the 50 trade test isn't over yet, so let's push on. 19th of July, 2R down day. 23rd and 24th of July, 2 more down days, minus 4R. And again, you're starting to chip away at your profit here. You might be thinking, again, what's going on? Now, by this stage, you've been through the good times, you've been through the bad times. You know that the losing runs happen, and you know that because we have edge, we very quickly pull right back out of them. So you trade well, you stick with the strategy, you carry on trading and applying your edge, and of course, you're determined to make it to the end of the 50 trade test. Let's look at what happens. You come in on the 25th of July, 1.6R win, 1.9R the next day, 4.9R the next day, 2.6 the day after that, and you've done it. You've traded the edge for 50 trades, you've completed the 50 trade test, you've traded an exact 2 months of data, and you're up by a pretty huge 19.4R. Now, again, at 1% risk per trade, that's 19.4% account growth inside of 8 weeks. That's just phenomenal. 2% risk, you've grown your account by 38.8% in 50 trades. And that's pretty average for the DAX strategy as well. And for those of you watching this, obviously I have no idea what account size you have right now, but I'd say to you, just imagine that you have the DAX strategy. You traded this period and you grew your account balance by 38.8%, more than doubling your account. Would you be happy with that? But again, you've achieved that because you've traded well. You've stuck with the strategy. You've traded the edge. You've applied this. You've allowed probabilities to play out. You've traded 2 solid months well, and that's why you've achieved what you've achieved. And up to this point, we're actually 59.8R on the year, as you can see at the bottom where it says total. And there you have it. If you take a strategy that works and jump in for a few trades, literally, as we've seen, anything can happen. You could start on a good run, a bad run, an excellent run, or a terrible run. But you have to remember, and it's essential really to remember, that trading is a numbers game. You have to let the probabilities play out. You have to let the edge play out, or you're going to face the tough times and you're going to give up. You're going to trade that 4-week period, be at break even, and just say, look, this doesn't work, forget this, next strategy. When you might only have been 1 week, 1 month away from massive account growth, and you threw it in the bin because you just couldn't commit. Again, you have to let an edge play out, or you're going to face the tough times and give up. You'll quit, you'll strategy jump, and you'll just carry on wondering why this trading business never works out for you. And now you know exactly why, and that's because in many cases you haven't conducted the 50 trade test.